Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs, number 23. And that means, number 23, I guess, that we're up to Vaughan Williams, Symphony number 9, how to present his last and in some ways weirdest symphony. Now, the Vaughan Williams Ninth is a strange work. It doesn't have what you might call sort of like normal emotional trajectory. It has a rather meditative but occasionally eruptive first movement, and then a strangely evocative tone poemy second movement. I mean, it's sort of exotic and wild, and it's quite colorful. I mean, it's very interesting. And then you've got a snarly, nasty little sardonic scherzo with a few sort of snide and snapping saxophones as soloists. And then the finale. Well, what is that finale? I'm not really sure what that finale is. It has a wonderful refrain. Ya da da da. Like that, basically, is what it does a couple times. It's marvelous. And the ending is magical, but it's one of those things where nothing is resolved. Nothing at all. There's this big climax and a kind of gnarly da 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 da, sort of like the music before the vision of Satan in Vaughan Williams' Job, sort of threatening. And then all of a sudden the orchestra just says, the hell with it. And the cymbals go, and the harps go, the saxophones go, and then it does that 3 times. And that's the end. And it fades out. Who knows? I mean, it's an impossible piece to start with because, first of all, I think it's too long. I mean, it's not that long. It's like 35 minutes, but it's full of variety, and the weirdness is just a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's off-putting, but it's enigmatic. It's puzzling. And I don't like to start concerts with enigmae. I think enigmas are better left for later. I really do. Even though you could argue that it's best to put it first because the audience will be fresh. But on the other hand, that ending, that timeless, strange, mysterious ending, I can't imagine doing anything after it. And that's really the problem. So actually, in this program, this is a reversible program. I don't think it would matter if you flipped the order of it around at all and started with the symphony, but I didn't want to do that because of that ending. So that's the second half, the Vaughan Williams Ninth in all of its craggy strangeness. And it is a wonderful piece. I mean, when you consider that he was like 150 when he wrote it, and, it shows him really sort of embarking upon new territory. And you may say that it has something of a metaphysical quality about it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you feel it more than I do, but I think he's trying to get there somehow. Anyway, so what do you do in the first half? Well, you've got this weird symphony with saxophones. That's basically the ninth. So I said, well, let's see what we can do with that concept. And I begin with Kurt Weill's Kleine Dreigroschenmusik. Whoever performs that? And it's wonderful. It's all the best tunes from the Threepenny Opera, including Mac the Knife. Do, 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 do. Und der Haifisch, der hat seine. Oh, it's just wonderful. Anyway, and it's scored for a wind orchestra with some very prominent saxophones. So you get the sound of the saxophone in your head. Next, I think we need a really dazzling concerto, something that's popular enough and big enough to have a first-class soloist and that audiences will come to see, but also that isn't just your typical sort of romantic virtuoso concerto. So I chose the Bartók Second Concerto because the Bartók Second is also in its way a timbral exercise. The first movement is for piano and winds alone, so it feeds off of the Kleine Dreigroschenmusik. The second movement is for piano and strings with timpani, very spooky strings played non-vibrato as a special effect, mind you. And then in the finale, the whole orchestra comes together for the first time. And so with the whole orchestra reassembled after a slam bang finale that brings them to their feet, you can go out for intermission and come back and have your reassembled orchestra embark on the weirdness, which is the Ninth Symphony of Ralph Vaughan Williams. I think it really works. I really do. But if you disagree with me about that order of events, you can flip it and do the ninth first. And then on the second half, do the Kleine Dreigroschenmusik and end with the Bartók Second Concerto, which is a fantastic, smash bang concert ending in a more sort of traditional way. It would be thrilling to have it second. So I think it works either way. And the way I have it now, though, and I really toyed with this and listened to things a few different ways just to see if it made a difference. I like having the Vaughan Williams alone on the second half. I really do. It's a special work. It needs to be savored. It needs to be considered and puzzled over. And then you get to go home. I mean, I think that if it leaves you with a question mark, that's okay, because that ending is so haunting that it's very, very satisfying in its own right. I mean, ultimately, I think it is, even if it is a little bit open-ended. And there you go, the last of the Vaughan Williams symphonies. But this is not the end. I told you there would be a bonus, and there's a bonus coming. So stay tuned for the next in this series. And then we've got all kinds of stuff coming. We're doing, just like I'll let you know, we're doing the Roussel symphonies because you asked, and one of you threw out a challenge, do the last 6 Haydn masses, and I've done them. So we've got a lot of fun coming up. We really do in the next couple of weeks or so, or the next few programs. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.